3.6, we're looking at structure of poetry. So go ahead and get out your springboard books. Make sure you have those open. 3.6, activity 3.6. We're looking at a poem called We Real Cool by Gwendolyn Brooks. We're going to, you see on the board, determine the meaning of words and phrases, including the figurative meanings and the connotative meanings. We are also going to look at the structure of the text. We're going to see the effect of the structure, how the structure of the poem affects the meaning of the poem and the author's message. So, the first part of the poem, or the top part, we see a prose written version of the poem. Who wants to read that aloud? I'd like a volunteer to read that aloud. Yes, ma'am.
Prose. The pool players, 7 at Golden Shovel. We real cool. We left school, we lurk late, we strike straight. We sing sin, we thin gin, we jazz June, we die soon.
All right, so you didn't pause in any weird places. You read each short sentence and you stopped at the end where the punctuation ends the sentence. Look at the poem itself. The poem below it. Notice how the structure of the poem is slightly different. We don't have ending lines. We don't have lines that end with periods. We don't have lines that end at the end of a sentence. We actually have the first word of each sentence as the last word of the line. Now, we still, though, would not read the poem as we real cool, we left school, we lurk late, we strike straight. When you read a poem, you stop with punctuation. Why do you suppose the author did this? Why do you suppose she ended each line with the first word?
To add emphasis to the word we.
What would be the reason to add the emphasis to the word we? What's the importance of we? You have an idea? Do you want me to call? You pick somebody whose hand is up.
It's emphasizing the group of people.
Okay, so the group of people as a whole, as a group, they did these actions. Okay, so as you read the poem, we real cool. That makes sense. I think we can easily understand what the author or what the speaker in the poem is trying to say. We left school. We lurked late. But then the language gets a little different. The figurative language starts to really kick in. We strike straight. We sing sin, we thin gin, we jazz June, we die soon. Each line makes perfect sense, right? We're all got it? We're all there, right? You're laughing. All right, well, we're going to look at the structure and each stanza. How would you define the word stanza? Somebody define stanza, please. Your hand is thinking. Yes, sir?
A paragraph of a poem.
Okay, so it's basically a unit in the poem. It's the equivalent of a paragraph. It's the equivalent of a paragraph structurally. What would we say is rhythm? How would you define rhythm? If I asked you about the rhythm of the poem, the rhythm of a song, how would we define rhythm?
Is it kind of like the beat of the poem, how it flows?
That's a good way of putting it. I like that, the beat. The beat. It's the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables, but it's the patterns we hear throughout a poem, throughout a text. The beat. How would you define assonance? We're familiar with the word assonance? Assonance versus consonance. They're very similar with a minor difference. Yes, ma'am?
The repetition of vowels in the beginning of words.
Good. So if assonance is the repetition of vowels at the beginning of words, what's consonance?
The repetition of consonants.
Good. How is alliteration different? Anybody?
Alliteration is just the first letter.
Of a sound throughout the word. I'm going to each of you will have a copy of this sheet. Each line, each sentence of the poem, I've restructured it so its sentences is written next to it. I'm asking that you and your partner, what does that metaphor mean? What does that figurative language in the poem suggest? Some of them are very simple. We real cool. We know what that means. The narrator's trying to say. We thin gin. What's he trying to say there? Elements. The alliteration, rhythm, stanzas, metaphors, imagery. Identify. Think of what they may mean. Why they're included. There's a to respond to. Structure the way it is. What is the purpose of this structure? We've already briefed. Create an effect. What message is the author trying to send? Respond to the questions, brief answers is all I'm asking for. And you will also, against this window, there's cardstock. There's a copy of the poem enlarged. Scissors and glue. You and your partner will take the copy of the poem and you will restructure it. The words will remain in the same order, but you can change the lines. You can have, yes?
Yes or no? No, you didn't turn it on.
Yes or no?
You're interrupting your phone. You have to.
Will we be able to cut that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of where I was there. So you're going to take a copy of the poem, cut it, and restructure it. The poem's words will remain in the same order, but you will need to put the length, change the length of the lines, change the structure of the lines. You can have it as one stanza if you'd like. You can change how many stanzas, how many words are in each line. But think about it before you just willy-nilly put words everywhere. What effect will your changes have? What effect will we see once the poem is restructured? Do you have any questions? All right, you know your groups. Please get with your groups. One person from each group go along the windowsill, get the glue sticks, the scissors, the cardstock, and the copy of the poem. I'll walk around and give you guys copies of this handout. One person from each group, please get the forms and other materials from the windowsill. You work for your partner. Your partner's getting your Everybody has a copy of the sheet titled Poetic Structure and We Real Cool with the paraphrase each sentence. Okay. You guys are extraordinarily funny.
Pool players at 7 at the Golden Shovel. Song message. Yeah, what do you hear from that?
About what that subtitle may mean. Obviously, if the author included it, it's there for a purpose. The subtitle. The pool players, 7 at the golden shovel. Think of what that might mean. Why would the author include that? If it's included, it was obviously thought about and intentionally included. Why did the author consider this or put this in here?
Yeah, like they shouldn't be doing it. Like, it's not a good thing.
So, you got a group of 7 people. Where are they? Which might be what?
I don't think it could necessarily because it goes later, later night. So I think it's at nighttime. Like they should be at home.
So that tells us what about these characters already?
We're there late at night. So I think it's yeah. Like when you go back later to the rest of the
Okay.
I think
How
the
old?
purpose for the story is to tell people not to do this. I guess. Yeah. Okay. So 7.
Okay. So you get the feeling they're junior, senior, high school, getting ready to get up. What gives you that feeling? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we already can infer what about these characters then?
Shouldn't be.
They're in high school, upper high school.
So they.
What about their personalities then? Probably pretty mean. Good. Good.
I think because this is like a life story because they go all the way to the hospital. They drinking, they killing them. I don't know. Yeah.
Why do you say they dropped out of school?
So I guess they do gang fighting.
They say they left. Maybe it was the end of the
So I
school
guess
day.
they stay with that. Okay. So yeah, it's not cool.
Okay.
I think we work late is them saying that they
So
stay
what
out
would you
late
say
at
is
night.
the tone? We real cool. More cool. What would you say is the tone?
Okay, we strike straight. Yeah, I guess they think they're.
Okay. Well, if they dropped
think
out,
it's
they
okay to
left
fight.
school. The other things that they say they do, are they claim
They
they do?
think it's cool to fight. Like they do a lot
That
of
gives
that.
us an impression of what about
Okay,
them?
they go like.
They stay out late.
You see, you've got, they think they're bad.
Okay, we sing.
Okay, so they're very,
They curse. They swear.
what words might we use to describe them? Delinquents. Do you think they're well behaved? Do you think they would listen to their mom?
They think
Their mom
they-
said, hey, I need you to
that's what
run an
they-
errand
think
for
of
me. How would they
food, about it,
respond?
They thin it down and they drink it. That's what
They wouldn't? They're somewhat defiant in their tone, aren't they? We're not doing what you tell me to do.
They made a whole poem about what they do. Okay,
Yeah.
They jazz. They dance.
You guys have high schoolers as well?
Summer.
Like that?
I don't know. Yeah, it could just be like. Okay, it could be they dance during the day. So they should be at school, but they dancing. Okay, you do a bit. We jazz. Jazzing is referring to the. Okay, we party. That's good. We put we party during the day. I was sure we just put we party.